everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about my COVID-19 experiences and learnings from it. We all know that COVID-19 pandemic has been absolutely unprecedented and has never been seen in the history of mankind so far. It has impacted our lives, the way we work, the way we live, our entire experience that we have been used to so far has been completely altered. We had only heard about these things in from movies, from books, but it is now really in our lives and we are experiencing it. On March 10th, we were asked by our office to start working from home, and at that point of time, I thought that this would last for a couple of months and we will be back to normal. However, this is September and we are still continuing working from home. I consider myself privileged because of the kind of work that we do, as we are always a little ahead of the curve, always trying to predict what's going to come in, and therefore the impact of COVID-19, while subconsciously, while overtly we were not aware of, but subconsciously somewhere we were prepared for it. We had been preparing, awareness literature for industry and for education institutions, and also been trying to work on the various strategies that we would have to, implement once the pandemic, came to India. To my mind, the risk of being adversely impacted by any pandemic is not based on gender. However, in an overtly patriarchal society like ours, there are challenges that women face, particularly after becoming confined to their home spaces due to the pandemic impact. When I look at those challenges, my own experiences are absolutely non-existent. And I would like to take this opportunity to talk about those challenges. The top challenges that the woman or a girl child from a vulnerable segment of society faces in terms of education, health, economic and security is something that we all need to be cognizant of and be empathetic to. 47% of the adolescent population are facing significant gender barriers. The closure of schools disproportionately impacts the nutrition level of the adolescent girls, who are more likely to depend on the midday meal for their nutrition, access to menstrual hygiene products, etc. They are also at heightened risk to the exposure of violence, early child marriage, child labor, trafficking, etc. Significant disruption due to the lockdown for over 6 months could also lead to 2.95 lakh unintended pregnancies, over 8 lakh live births, and about 1 million unsafe abortions, over 2,000 maternal deaths. The WHO and UNFPA have reported a 60% rise in domestic violence cases globally, warning that a continuation of lockdown for 6 months beyond May 2020 may result in additional 31 million cases of gender-based violence. According to McKinsey, women's jobs are 1.8 times more vulnerable to the crisis than men's jobs. In India, women made up 20% of the workforce, which is abysmally low when you compare to the global data. And this is before COVID-19. Their share of job losses account for almost 23% of overall job losses. In both cities and rural areas, the livelihood of 94% of women workers in the informal sector are at heightened risk. Compared to these significant challenges, the ones that I faced during COVID-19 are absolutely insignificant. However, since I've been asked, for me personally, my top COVID-19 challenges have been getting used to work from home, familiarize with tech platforms to hold meetings, handling tech issues in my own laptop, managing without printouts because I'm of the generation that always believed in writing notes and reading out from printouts. The pressure of work as we were working for almost 18 to 20 hours in the during the early crisis period, figuring out the new products aligned to the new normal as all sources of revenue stopped because the physical events were not happening, tackling the household chores because suddenly the house helps had also disappeared. Working remotely was a challenge for my team as well. So first couple of months, we were busy studying the impact of COVID-19 on the economy and society, developing strategies, looking at country experiences, etc., and trying to support the industry that was fledgling under the aftermath of COVID-19. We had to also simultaneously work on our cash flow situation and new sources of revenue. The first thing that I did was to bring in discipline to my day-to-day life. My days had to be planned as before and compartmentalized between family responsibilities and work responsibilities. Taking care of health of family and self by following all precautions prescribed by the doctor and the government. Planning with teams to overcome the revenue crisis by thinking out of box opportunities and developing the new products. Counseling team members, especially my women colleagues, who were also struggling under the pressure at home and at work. Fortunately for me, I have a supportive husband and a grown-up daughter, so I did not have family pressures. Actually, to me, there is no differentiation between a man and a woman. These are tough times for both. In my view, women are more resilient than men, so tend to deal with such crises better when they are under pressure. If you look at the success stories around the globe and within India regarding the containment of COVID-19 pandemic, the success stories you will find were under the women leadership, be it in Finland or New Zealand, or in Bhilwara in Rajasthan, or in Kerala, where we saw the early success. The success of self-help groups too is attributed to the women leaders. A woman by nature is a nest builder and therefore has inherently the qualities to nurture, care and build. I can only suggest to my fellow women what I follow, and that is to develop knowledge and awareness and use that information effectively for self-development. Take your own decisions and be responsible for it. Be economically independent. It is important for your own self-esteem and happiness. Only if you are happy, healthy and content will you be able to effectively contribute to your family, to the society and to the world. I want to end this video with a favorite quote of mine from my favorite author, Ayn Rand, and it goes this way, I quote, "The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me," quote unquote. Thank you, and I wish you all the best for your future and life in the new normal. Thank you.